not sure what mouse smoothing is. Okay, I think we're good. Risala, Kafji, Lamdong, Monte Cassino, Training Grounds. Alright, so I'm going to check out Operation Harsh Doorstop. The AI is starting to look pretty darn good. It's getting there. And right now it's probably better than a lot of tactical shooters. So anyway, I wanted to check it out, and we'll do so in single player. At least that's the plan. I'm hoping it works. I mean, it works for me. Obviously, it's working for other people. By the way, this is being published by Microprose, and I'm an old Microprose veteran. I used to play Airborne Ranger and F-19 Stealth Fighter, F-15 Strike Eagle, what else? And it was Airborne Ranger and F-19 Stealth Fighter. Putting those two ideas together, that I sent an idea for what I called an infantry simulator to Microprose in 1988 while I was in the Army in Alaska. And they forwarded the idea to their R&D department. I waived any rights to the idea because I just wanted to play the game. I didn't want to, bog anything down. And really, I wasn't the guy that would be able to make the idea a reality. I didn't have those kind of skills. So I just said, here's my idea. I just want to play the game. So what's interesting is that the idea that I sent them seems to have become SEAL Team by Electronic Arts, released around, I think, 1992 or 1993. So, and that wasn't, it was a 3D first-person shooter, but it kind of played like a flight simulator. Like, you would get a targeting box around the enemies, and then you would just hold down the enter key, I think, to make your character shoot at the target in the targeting box. So it wasn't a case where you would point and shoot at the enemy. Of course, I think it was about around that time they started having like Wolfenstein 3D, and then Doom would come out around then, I think, or maybe a little later, and then Quake in the mid-90s. So the technology was getting there, and then there was Dark Forces, which I think Dark Forces, maybe it was Quake, that allowed you to aim vertically. That's right, because I think in Dark Forces you couldn't aim vertically. I think you would just line up your shots, and then it would auto-aim at targets that were up above. Again, I could be wrong. Maybe there was vertical aim in Dark Forces. It's been a while. Anyway, but the point is, like, true aiming with a mouse didn't come along with SEAL Team. But SEAL Team, as far as I can remember, it was definitely the first tactical first-person shooter, or at least infantry simulator. And but I'd have to check the dates to see how it compared with Wolfenstein 3D and Doom to see which one was released first. But yeah, SEAL Team had numerous things that I wanted in the game, like the compass headings at the top. Um, a variety of weapons to choose from. The the bushes even looked, if I remember correctly, looked like the bushes that I drew in the schematic. They had very few polygons, but they were still a fairly close approximation to to the bushes you would expect to see. Of course, they said it in Vietnam, and I don't remember what locale I thought should be used. I remembered that I thought it should be like a Special Forces game because um, Special Forces might have a wider selection of weapons to use. And anyway, yeah, SEAL Team was pretty awesome. But I think probably the first and best realization of a tactical first-person shooter had to have been Rainbow Six One on the PC by Red Storm Entertainment. And I think that was 1998 or 1999. So, but here, Blue Drake, and I think it's the developers are called Drakelings Labs. Um, they're trying to put together a tactical first-person shooter that embraces multiple time periods, and they want to offer it free, and they want it to be, I'm not sure if it's open source, but it's open to modding, and so that players can use this engine to develop whatever shooter they want to play. Now, what I would like, a game that I've always wanted to play, and Ubisoft even made fun of some of my ideas in one of the Rainbow Six Vegas titles. And you can hear a conversation, and there may have been more than one conversation that actually alluded to it, but they definitely had one conversation, and I think it was in Vegas 2. Again, I could be wrong, that talked about my idea, which was you would have like an almost real-time like counter-terrorist scenario, and you would have a recon phase and an intel phase and a negotiation phase. Maybe not all of those happening in every scenario, but they would be happening at least in some of the scenarios simultaneously, so that while negotiations were going on with the terrorists, if they had demands, then you could send in troopers to go in and put down surveillance devices, or to stake out the target building or location, and and the behavior of the terrorists, or the decision of the counterterrorism unit, or who knows, politicians or policymakers, whatever, would be what kicked off the actual operation. But meanwhile, if you had enough time, you could actually mock up the location, the area of operations, and then do kill house runs through it to practice for the actual mission. But the twist would be that you would have a realistic number of operatives. It wouldn't be the battalion of terrorists that you had in Rainbow Six Vegas. I I mean, seriously, if you counted the number of terrorists that you killed in Rainbow Six Vegas, I think it equaled like 1 or 2 battalions of terrorists. Okay, but like, I guess there are no FBI agents in Vegas, right? So nobody heard about what was going down, even though all these guys were getting drunk, almost certainly in Vegas, going to clubs, getting drunk, talking about their jobs, sleeping with hookers, um, getting coked up, whatever, and not a single one of the terrorists spilled the beans and tipped off the authorities to what was about to go down, right? Give me a break. So instead, I wanted something more like the books, or rather, more like Tom Clancy's book, where you had a very in depth scenario and where the terrorists were very fleshed out. They might even be like randomly created. I definitely wanted a procedurally generated quality to each scenario, but that might be something as simple as the way the furniture is moved around inside the building. There's a title, I think it's supposed to be set in Iraq, that's supposed to be in development now, I think, that is supposed to do that. Or, like the buildings, the way the buildings are set up will be randomly generated. So you won't be able to memorize the building every time you go through it. And, but then I wanted like very in-depth AI for each terrorist. And I wanted biological and psychological and like social interdynamics, I guess, or very dynamic social interaction between the terrorists. Each terrorist would have his own personal motivations in addition to the group motivation. Um, Sleep deprivation, low blood sugar, mental, what do you call it? It's, not psychological diseases, mental diseases. What's the word? Anyway, you know what I'm getting at. Mental frailties, shortcomings, whatever, would be a factor. Um, yeah, so all of that would come into play in real time, and say if the terrorists started getting hungry, or they went without sleep for long enough, they would start getting agitated and more demanding, and and if they went without enough sleep, maybe they'd start hallucinating, but their nerves would start unraveling, and the situation would get more tense. They might potentially shoot one of the hostages. That might kick off the takedown of the building. But I wanted something that was very in-depth, so fewer terrorists, but more depth to the experience. So you might have to, look at the files of each of the terrorists in the building, memorize their faces, because, you might want to do like a snatch and grab on one of them, maybe not kill all of them. I don't know. Um, of course, that could be other things like gathering up intel, uh, destroying top secret assets, assassinating high value target, definitely rescuing specific hostages, if not all of the hostages. Who knows? Maybe even assassinating some of the hostages because of what they knew, and and I think some aspects of the gameplay of Konami's The Regiment should definitely be used. Like, there was a level where you got trained, to look for whether the operative had a gun in his hands, much like in SWAT 4. Well, they they pulled some trickery in one of the levels in Konami's The Regiment where they duct taped a shotgun to the one of the hostages' hands, and you threw the door open, you entered the room at speed because that game demanded speed from you, and you saw a gun in the guy's hands and you wasted the hostage because he had a gun duct taped to his hands. You know, they'd pull that kind of crap. So, and you could have traps and stuff too, but please not to the extent that Zero Hour employs them. That's kind of excessive if you ask me. I mean, I'm doing like the first mission, and there's already at least two traps set in the building. It just seems like a bit much, but anyway, so that's the game I want to play. I want to play a hyper realistic Rainbow Six type experience, and I want it so that if one of your operatives on your team dies, he's dead for the rest of the campaign. Just like in the original Rainbow Six titles, Rainbow Six One. I think Rogue Spear did the same thing. So, and if they could create that in this engine, that would be awesome. I'd play that all the time because, quite frankly, if Rogue Spear worked on Windows 10, or rather, if I could get it to work on Windows 10, evidently it's working for some people who figure out a way to make it work. But I'd be playing that title right now because that title was rock solid, and I could do terrorist hunt after terrorist hunt in that game, and just really be in gaming heaven. But while that title had some great AI, um, still there was a lot of room for improvement, and some of that improvement I suggested to Ubi or Red Storm Entertainment, which eventually was bought out by Ubisoft, and some of those improvements they added to the series, like some of the destruction of like building materials, some of the methods used in Rainbow Six Siege were things I listed in a letter to Red Storm Entertainment after I played Rainbow Six One, and other things Ubisoft tried to implement and they did so rather successfully, I think, or somewhat successfully in Rainbow Six Lockdown, and by that I mean that the implementation was successful, although the title was not successful. The problem with Lockdown is that the team operatives couldn't hit the side of a barn. Their accuracy was woeful. I mean, you could look at the percentages on their accuracy and it's ridiculously low. And yet the terrorists seemed to do a better job of shooting back. And but I think the thing that made Lockdown the most unpopular was that it included some kind of copyright protection, like called Star something, that rooted it very deeply in your system's core software, I guess. So that made that title extremely unpopular. Um, Otherwise, it was really cool. They played up the multinational aspect of all the characters. Um, for many of them, they seemed to have uh, international accents to their voice files. Um, Weapon modding was extremely easy in that game. I could create weapon classes that didn't even exist in the game. Uh, That's how flexible their weapon modding system was. Like I could create this Russian bumblebee, the Schmel. Uh, it's like a, they call it a flamethrower, but it's kind of a rocket launcher that would shoot an incendiary round. And I was able to make it so that you'd shoot the round into an area, and then it would set, just like immediately set anybody in the explosive range on fire, with like white phosphorus or whatever the incendiary material was on the warhead. And so it was cool. I mean, you could, in the parking garage, if there's like three tangos there, you could shoot the Schmel right into the middle of them, and then immediately all three would like burst into flames. So it was very cool. You could, you were able to create the like delayed fuse, like tear gas grenades, like they used in Terminator 2. Just all kinds of stuff, really. I even created like a flamethrower in the game. It's very easy to mod that game. Anyway, but so, Ubisoft, has tried to include some of these recommendations I've made with varying degrees of success. And Siege certainly started out with the right idea, although I thought the weapons really didn't recoil very much on full auto. But I guess that was necessary in order to blow holes through walls and stuff. But by the time I tried Rainbow Six Siege in multiplayer, it was getting really hokey. Like I rounded a corner and then I got shot with like some kind of tranquilizer gun by some weird character. And then so I was down, for like the rest of the match, but apparently not dead. Although someone might have finished me off eventually. It's just like, really? They're using tranquilizer guns? So it just, and I got to see that Rainbow Six Siege was turning into something like Magic the Gathering, where they would create a special ability for a new character that was completely divorced from the reality of counterterrorism operations, and then they'd have to create another special ability to counter that first one's special ability, and it was even more bizarre and outlandish and apparently lacking any kind of real scientific basis. So all I could do is just reminisce about Rainbow Six 1 and Rogue Spear and to some extent Raven Shield, although Raven Shield because I guess it was a Unreal Engine limitation at the time. You'll notice that in Raven Shield none of the doors have windows on them, whereas Rogue Spear, the version of Rainbow Six just before it, the Koreans had a special version of Rogue Spear that had like very modern buildings with glass all over the place. I mean, you just had just plate glass walls and hallways, and so you'd fire weapons at tangos, and glass would just be shattering and showering all over the place, and it was pretty awesome because it created like a different tactical scenario when you had tangos that were visible through 2-3 intervening plates of glass, and it kind of reminded me of some of the modded Rogue Spear multiplayer maps where people would put down lots of cars on the tarmac on the 747 map, and you're hiding behind cars and trying to shoot other players through multiple vehicle windows. Anyway, so you had a lot of glass in Rogue Spear, and especially that, like in the opening of the Met, if you went to the secondary insertion point, they just had these tall looming plate glass windows near the Egyptology display, I think. Anyway, yeah, but then in the Unreal Engine, you had these, none of the doors had any windows on them, so it just looked completely lame. So I really felt that Rogue Spear was the best title of the series. So I would like to have something like that, in this engine if possible, and I'd play it endlessly. So, I'm starting to lose my voice. I should get something to drink. Yeah, just give me a minute to grab something to drink. Okay, and if you're listening still, and we're going to start playing here in a second. I wanted to warn you guys. I'm a bit of a prepper, not. Anyway, I wouldn't say I'm like a doomsday prepper. I'm not. Anyway, I'm not so big into it that I should be on that TV show. But I've been a survivalist and a prepper for a long time, and more at sometimes than at others. And right now, guys, keep an eye on the supply chain, especially in the supermarket regarding food, because I noticed that for a few weeks now that some of the items that I typically order are out of stock, and this week when I was ordering, it was really bad. Some very common items are disappearing from the shelves in the store, and I'm not sure how it compares to when COVID first happened, but it's a little concerning because it's becoming a case where you don't buy what you want, you buy what you have to settle for, and that seems to be having a cascading effect because so then when somebody else is buying something that they have to settle for, well, that item that they settle for is an item that somebody else wanted, but now that item is out because other people have bought it because they've had to settle for it. So it's starting to branch out, into all kinds of products, and when when American consumers are having to settle for purchases that they don't really want, that is not your typical American experience, and things could worsen from there. So if you have a little extra money, I would buy some canned meats and get some canned beans and bags of grain and a way to store them. And I would do that just so you have something to fall back on. Because if these supply chain problems don't clear up, it could get a lot worse. But I don't want to make you fearful. I just want to warn you, you know, so that you have a little foresight and can kind of put yourself in a better position with just a little bit of effort. And warn your friends too. So, well, it looks like I'm playing German forces. I don't want to do that. So, I guess I don't have access to these other weapons. Huh. Okay, so where do I gotta go? I've got compass headings on the bottom. Oh, I think I'll want that V-sync after all. Alright, and then I'm at the south, so I want to head north, right? Where are my bots? Are there even going to be any bots on the other side? I'm not just wanting to tour the map, I'm like wanting to try out the gameplay, you know? Maybe I have to join a multiplayer server? Or create a server myself? Maybe this is an older build? I don't know. Anyway, it's looking pretty good. Do I have a pistol? No, that's realistic. Where am I on the map? I'm way up there. I think I passed up my huh. Did they have like gas cylinders like that in World War II? Oh, maybe. I don't know. Weapon skin looks good. Alright, I must be doing something wrong. Leave game. Multiplayer. No one's on right now. Am I playing the right version? That says I've got like 3 different installations here, so I'm not sure which one I'm supposed to be trying out. So this seems like a separate instance, so that I have to go through all the settings again. Motion blur, turn that off. Let's just set this to high. Audio. Music volume. Controls. Crouch. C. Prone. X. Apply. Multiplayer. Well, there's one guy on this one. Oh, this is the test map. Looks like there are bots here. Oh, come on, I just got here. Yes. I'm heading west. Where am I? Not there yet. I hear some popcorn gunfire going off in the distance. Need to go this way. Oh, here it is. Is it changing? Are the actions already all the way up there? Well, it's turning. I guess that's a red flag. Oh, it's possible to, yeah, zoom in, right. There. Okay, I want to go this way. Where's the flag? I see it. Guy's a little tuckered out. This one looks like it's already turned. Alright, so we'll head to, is it the shield I want to go to? Whoa. Whoa. You shooting at me? The heck? Seems like there's some friendly fire going on here. The middle of the road is not the place to get tired. Those must be bad guys down there. there's a red now. Alright, spawn here. I'm gonna head over here. I think this is their base. I guess we're supposed to attack it. No, not through this open field. That's pretty realistic. Seemed like I was under machine gun fire. It's like when they spawn in, they can't see. What's he doing? Guess he's guarding. It's nice he's playing defense, but he shouldn't do it in the middle of the road. Wow, ADS speed on the machine gun is realistically slow. There we go. Friendly? I think it's friendly. Oh. Guess we're supposed to be Iraqis. If I can get up in this building and make it rain on them. These are interesting staircases. Way out there. Those could be friendlies for all I know. Oh, who's this? My mouse sensitivity is not Can't tell if I got tapped by a gun or what. Oh, we lost that point. And I can't spawn there. I guess I can still spawn there. Who did we lose this point to? Is it ours now? It's ours now. Thanks to me, I guess. Is it a friendly or a bad guy? Geez, taking this last point isn't easy. Is that a... Ugh. way out there, but could be freeway, I don't know. Looks like he just disappeared. Oh. Oh, there he is. He might have got through, I don't know. Where is he? Wasted. Oh, there's another one. Got him. There's one way out there. Alright. I need a sniper rifle, man. Oh boy. So can I join the US forces? What did I die from? What the heck? Is that it? Select spawn. That's it? No spawns? Wait a second, that's supposed to be U.S. forces. What is going on? Does it not like the fact I'm on the... I don't know if it doesn't like the fact I'm on the switching over to the US side. Oh. I got tapped. to do to turn this? We're here. Why isn't the flag turning? Why isn't the flag turning? Oh. Out of ammo. Where's my shovel? Is that one? What's the number 7 for shovel? Yeah, they're not happy with me. Let's try the SKS. Try to get my stamina back. Where is my stamina? Doesn't seem to be coming back. Huh. I don't have any. No grenades on me. I was hoping to jump up on these tires. That's a friendly? I think he's down. Seems like the gunshots might make a different sound when you score a hit. I can't tell. Just glad it doesn't have any hit detection markers. I hate that crap. I'm out of ammo. Coming after you with my shovel. Oh, slow down. Oh no. Got no stamina left. Oh. Let's see. So there's a test environment, but I don't know if I'm allowed to show off what goes on there. So I'll just leave it at that. So that's Operation Harsh Doorstop so far. I mean, it's pretty cool. You can set up some oblique and inverse ambushes on the AI, and they do react when you ambush them. They do respond to enemy fire. They turn around, return fire. I mean, without optics, it can be hard to land some of those distant shots. I don't know if I turned up my anti-aliasing even more, that I might be able to see some of those distant targets a little better. Excuse me, but anyway, it's looking pretty good. I was enjoying that. I'd like to try out some of the other time periods too, but I guess I'll have to do that another time. So